Hi sir, hi everyone. I'm Ana Kathleen M. Perez and I'm going to discuss the brief introduction of our system. So let's start. Nowadays, the computer is the most useful technology, especially to teachers and students since schooling became online because of pandemic. So we decided to make a system that will help school administrators as well as the students, which is Student Record System. Student Records is a computer program that manages the creation, collection, organization, storage, retrieval, and transmission of information. Effective student record systems use computer technology to maintain the longitudinal information about individual students served within an education system. So with the help of this system, you can easily access the information gathered of an individual student. This system aims mainly at building a student database that will hold the student records. Then, it provides online access to information about the students and how this information interacts. This system will also provide help to sustain and keep the student record at ease. The student record system made progress in reducing the work and making it even more rapid and efficient these days. A system that will minimize and all paperwork and keep documents of the standard studies and in the meantime, the school's essential document. This system will be used as a help to everyone without concerning any issues. This will also minimize paperwork and reduce the amount of working time. In short, hassle-free. And most importantly, it can lessen the spread of virus because there will be no contact with another person face to face. Thank you.
Hi, I am Mark Anthony Nasi from OL33A5, and I am discussing about development tools. So development languages, we have lots of development languages like C++, which is a Microsoft thing, Java, Visual Basic, another Microsoft, PHP, and MySQL, and so on. But now we are using Microsoft Visual Basic for our system. We propose a student record system that have small set of data, and the system will contain buttons that can be seen in the other student record system, not far away from what users see in a famous management platform. The SLDC used in the system is a waterfall model. We strictly follow the steps of waterfall model, namely requirement gathering, system design, implementation, testing, delivery or development, maintenance. Requirement gathering, all possible requirements are captured in product requirement documents. Code editor, internet connection, functionable technology, hardware, and browsers. System design, based on analysis design, the software architecture, it consists of data.mdb, .NET framework, using VB.NET, and encoded by the maker. Implementation development of the software in the small units with functional testing. After we complete the needed tools and the equipment, we apply immediately to develop the system. As testing is done at the later phase, so there is a chance that challenges and risks at earlier phases are not identified. The admin or the teacher can log in proceeding to the student record form. Thus, the user can edit, add, toggle, search, delete, and save the data of the student, of each student. Deployment of system, making the product live on product environment after all functional and non-functional testing completed. Each research member tried and tested the system and it is currently functionable. Maintenance, fixing issues, and release new version with the issue patches as required. Updating the version of the needed ones in the system and adding different features. And now here's Miss Relon for our system features.
Right now, I will be explaining to you what's inside our system through the system features. First, we have the search bar and quick data retrieval. Teachers have an easy way looking for who, what, when, and where at his or her students. Next, we have the database binding. Database binding is an easy way to take a look at the list of his or her students. Save button. A one-click save button that saves the teacher's progress. Photo. Teacher can easily know the face of his or her students. Next, we have the next, last, and remove button for easier switch and look of information to his or her student. Note, the relevant update to the students. And that concludes our system feature.
Lastly, I am Dean Pervin Julius Manzano, and I'm gonna discussing about our system, which is the student record system from our group. At first, we will see the login form that needed the username and password of the user or the one who will using it. For example, I am the teacher and I input the username, but I forgot my password or I enter a wrong password. The system will say invalid username and password. But if I input the data correctly to my username and password, the system will log in successfully into the user, showing the name of the user and this message successfully logged in. It helps to prevent anyone from accessing the record of the user. Upon opening the system, we will face ahead the main form or the record itself. It shows the different data and information for a certain student. For example, his last name, first name, middle name, address, student ID, and etc. As you can see, we have this table and column right below our group of panels. These are the panels that shows one feature of our system, which is the database binding for easy toggling or scrolling to the list of students. Next to the right, we can also see different kind of buttons, which very simple to understand and relatively easy to use. I prepared here two example of students with different data, and we will discuss how this button serves their purpose. First, we have the previous and next button. As we all know, what's the toggle between students? As we can see, I can change the student with ease from left to right. So what if I want to add a new student? Here, we have a add and save button. When we click add, our database was ready for the next data to be inputted by the user, just as his student ID, last name, first name, middle name, age, etc. For example purposes, I have here student ID of 2018-550. Last name, we just write sample. We copy that just to show you how the add and save button works. Okay, so after finishing putting sample information or data to the student, we save it. And upon saving it, we can see our database binding was also updated. Here we have the third student. So my student was dropped out or I want to remove it from the list. How can we do that? Here we have the delete button. Delete button, if we want to delete our student, are you sure you want to delete this record? We can cancel it or we can proceed to delete the student. Just look to our database binding, the third student will be removed from the list. When I click OK, the database binding also updated and the record itself. If I want to edit, just click the edit button and add a new information of the student. For example, note, no exam. When you click save and toggle the database binding, we can see from the first record of student the note that we written, no exam. Next to the buttons was the quick retrieval of data or search bar. I have here two ways how the user might seek the information of his or her student with ease. First, by using the student ID of the student. For example, we write here 1 just to show the first record of the student. Click the refresh button, and there you go. The information of the first student. Next one is by using the name of the student. For example, I want to show you the second student, Relon Meng. The last name, you can delete the student ID. Last name was Relon. First name was Meng. So, the student binding table column shows the second student, Relon Meng, and his information. So, go to refresh again. Delete this, delete that, refresh. Okay. So, lastly, the user can add photo of his or her student by this browse button or add picture. Rather, and choose the photo of a student like this. If we click the browse button, we go to downloads. I have here example of picture of me. There you go. And there you have it. I can add the photo of my student. So that is very much all about our student record system. I hope you gladly like it. Thank you for your listening.